have to try to use my phone. I'm going to try to just minimize the Zoom chat. So if I drop out, then I'll just come right back in.
Okay. Alrighty, let's do a recap. So, you guys started last session sitting outside of the burgomaster's guest house. You could see that there was some sort of ritual going on inside. The burgomaster, his wife Lydia, their daughter, their son Victor, and then another old, raggedy-looking man who was sitting to the side, was watching all this going on. Victor was like spearing this reddish sort of goop along him. Mornak, you used sense thoughts or whichever spell it was to sort of try and figure out what was going on. You could see that they were trying to speak with the dead and get some information about what these two dead bodies know. One was Milavaj from the graveyard digger there, and the other one was a girl who none of you have seen before. It seemed that neither one really knew exactly what had transpired or what was going on, but it looked like they had entered some sort of contract or something. Both of them had this abyssal writing carved into their flesh. He decided to break in, barging in, demanding to know what's going on. Mud did anyway, head through the window, typical Mud style, even though the door was beside you and unlocked. Burgomaster explained that his son was attempting to speak with the dead to find out the meaning behind all of this that was going on. You guys talked with Milovaj a little bit as well, or tried to get in a few notes. All said and done, he didn't really get a whole lot. They mentioned that the Sister Six would come at midnight, and it seemed that their bodies were carved in with this contract of some sort. But beyond that, not a whole lot was really revealed. Mud, you noticed that the coffin maker had up and disappeared. Asked about him a little bit. He seems like he's a town drunk, besides just doing his woodworking and coffin making. The burgomaster thought that he had tried to break into his personal wine rack or wine cellar. You guys just wanted to look into this a little bit. The burgomaster wasn't too impressed, didn't seem too much like he cared though, and was going to let Isaac handle the situation. But he did say that you could go ahead and poke around as long as you didn't get into trouble and mess things up, and gave Isaac orders to not interfere with you unless he felt he had the need to. Isaac stayed behind. He was working with some of his guards and didn't seem too interested in what you guys went off to do. He gave you a few dirty looks, Mud, because you gave him your pinky finger, one of your fingers. But otherwise, he didn't interfere in anything at the moment. You guys checked out the coffin, or the burgomaster's winery. Little wine things. Looked like somebody had broken into there and tried to steal some wine. Mornaka grabbed one for himself. Found a doorway led upstairs to a room that had Isaac's sleeping chamber and hundreds of dolls that looked exactly like Irina scattered about the room. Ones that were younger versions of her, all the way up to what she currently looks like. Quite spitting images of her. Being creeped out a little bit by that, you guys headed out of there, out to down the street, down to the coffin maker's place. Broke into that, poked around a little bit. Found the coffin maker was stuffed into a cabinet, his throat and his wrists both slit and dead. From there, you poked around more, went upstairs. You found, Vasily, Victor, and Mornak. You guys split off to the side room through the kitchen and found a bed chamber where at the foot of the bed in a floor chest, you found the bones of Saint Andrew. These bones that had come up and disappeared from the church. You guys know that the bones were said to have created a consecrated ground here within the town, primarily at the church that held out the evil. With the bones not buried there, the blessing was broken, and they need to be buried again or something if you wish to have that back. On the other direction, Mud checked out the adjacent room. It was basically just a loft area full of old junk, old bits of wood and stuff. An attic is really all it is. Moved around down to the back. The back side of the building has this big bay window that looks down into the street below. And you could hear the scraping of these coffins beside you. And as you look over Mud, you can see 6 undead vampire spawn burst forth, just caked in mud and ichor as they start moving towards you. Anything else? Everybody leveled up okay and everything's set?
Yeah, I don't specifically remember that last part. I stayed with the group, I think.
Oh, a little retcon. Beautiful. All right. So, yes, Mud, you will be standing It's a pretty big attic room. I don't have my map here, but it's sort of shaped like a 7. You're in the upper half, the wider chamber that goes across, and then it comes down.
Yeah,
But
I think you said I'm about 120 feet away from.
Yeah, you're completely around the corner. From where you're at, though, you can see outside this thick white fog rolling across the grounds and stuff, and this huge bay window overlooks both the blue water in and down the street that you came down. In the distance, you can see the Virgo's Master's Mansion. You can see the church up on the hill. But as you're looking at this, you can hear this scraping, this cracking sound, and as you glance over your shoulder, you see this long, black fingernailed hands push forth from the side of these rotting coffins. The whole thing just kind of crumbles apart. You're going to see 6 look like just thin, decimated, hag-like women, barely wearing rags, if anything at all, as they start crawling forth from the mud and the ichor that's been caked inside of these coffins. It looks almost like they were just completely dug up from the ground and set here, because they're still covered in filth. They let out this horrible screeching, moaning sound. I need a will challenge roll from you, please, with 1 bane.
That would be a grand total of 3.
3. You are going to be frightened of these things. So you have a bane on everything you do, 3 banes on anything connected to them.
All right. And just to get the scene properly, I know there's the bay window there. Are they like on both sides of me, or are they between me and the window, or I between them and the window?
The window's in front of you to kind of come up to that when you come around the corner. That's the big thing in front of you, and they're on the wall behind you.
So they're at the 7. They're at
the
angle of the 7.
Yep, exactly.
They're between me and the crew.
Gotcha. Yep, you got it. And all the coffins were leaned up on that back wall behind you, basically, so they're all spilling forth. If you tried to run around, and you might be able to, depending on the order of initiative and whatnot. But
did we hear that horrible sound in the other room?
So yes, you 3 are on the opposite room that you're in and across the hall. You're going to hear maybe a couple thumps and this very soft groaning sound. It just sounds like maybe somebody is heavy or walking heavy on the floor planks or something. Sound that Mud would make as he walked across old floorboards, kind of. But as far as the moans of these things and stuff, it's too far away to really hear. It's on the wall in front of you, but it's on the other side of that wall, basically. So, I will have Victor, Vasily, and Mornak. You guys give me a perception check to see if you notice anything more or that anything is amiss.
11.
Mm-hmm.
7 from Victor.
7. And hopefully Mornak's a little more perceptive.
$23.
All right. So, Marnak, you would hear as the other 2 are, working on getting these bones out of this floor chest and stuff. You're poking around a little bit. It's up by the bed, and there's a nightstand there. You'll be able to hear the scraping, screeching sort of sound, and maybe like a exasperated gasp or something from Mud on the other side. But yes, you definitely have this feeling, Marnak, like you should probably find Mud. Something seems to be going on, or something that doesn't quite feel right to you. Where you guys are, though, you'd have to go out of the bedroom, through the kitchen, across the hall, and back into the attic and all the way around. But like it'd be 3 turns of movement you guys are looking at. So
Mornak's going to turn to Victor and say, "Where's Mud? Why isn't he with us?"
Wasn't he... he was going to go look at something in the other room, wasn't he?
I'm not too keen with us all being split up like this. Maybe we should go find him real quick.
I'm sure he's okay.
Should we? This is Mud we're talking about. I mean, how many fingers does he have left?
He has at least 3. 6.
So he's got like 3 more lives, right? That's the way it works.
He's invincible.
But
But
no,
if you want to
I
go,
think
let's go find him then.
Warneck. Yeah.
I just got
we
a
have
very bad feeling.
We shouldn't leave the.
We have what we came here for.
Well, okay. Question for Morgan: is Dre with us?
I'll say he's poking around downstairs at the moment because I don't have his character sheet or anything. So.
He put on the ring of invisibility and he's stealing stuff.
Well, is it possible that he could be with us so he can watch the body or the bones so that way we can go, just in case someone comes in and tries to steal them?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just to kind of have a backup plan.
That works for me.
All right, cool. So, yeah, let's go find our grayish friend. Hopefully he's not getting into too much trouble.
You probably found another cache of treasure.
And with that,
Mud, he's probably playing with women.
That's very true. You'll hear these moans as they burst forth from these coffins behind you, Mud. In turn, this sickness seems to just well up inside you with the disgustingness of these creatures. They're absolutely blighted. You can see they're undead, tormented creatures of some sort. You can see their long black fangs that hang down. Most of their bodies starting to rot away. Would you like to go fast or slow?
So, question on that. If I decide to go slow, am I able to kind of hold an action?
Depending on what it is, yeah. Like, what are you trying to do?
I want to basically hold my whole move and attack until they start coming at me.
Yeah, as soon as they come out, you can see as they start crouching down. They're not fast, really, but they're definitely coming right for you.
All right.
Or you could just double move and
I don't know. I would have to go through them to get to the group, right?
Kind of, yeah, depending. I mean, if you go fast, you might try to get past them, but you're only going to have one set of movement. You can go slow, and then it's a maybe.
I will go slow.
All right. So as these 6 spawn burst free, you can see they come at you almost instantly, this feral, hungry look in their eyes. You get the sense, with your religious background a little bit, and I'm sure you know a little bit about undead, but they look absolutely like they've been starved for quite a long time, packed away up here in the attic or in these coffins, as they're just completely starved and hungry as they lash out towards you. So yes, all 6 of them are just going to be lunging towards you, but what would you like to do?
I would like, as soon as they reach within range, I would like to cast my Ice Blast. Because I'm scared of them, right?
Yes.
All right. So what I do is I clap my hands together and just shards of ice go flying out as I do. They have to succeed on agility challenge rolls, and the area becomes difficult terrain.
All right. So let's see, agility challenge rolls. Let's see. 3 pass, 3 fail.
All right, so the ones that pass take 8. The ones that fail the ones that pass take 3. No, 4. And it's difficult terrain between me and them.
Got it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, the ones that fail?
The ones that fail take 8. The ones that pass take 6.
Gotcha.
4.
Gotcha. Okay.
And now as they're charging, with the fact that I went slow, do I think I can get around them if I take off?
It would require an agility challenge roll to try and get past them in time.
Oh.
Being that there's 6, I'm going to say with probably 2 Banes.
And I get 3 Banes on top of that.
Because of them, so yes.
All right, so I will use my movement to turn around and go right through the bay window.
I don't need you to roll for it if you're just jumping through it, because it's not a...
I'm just going right through it. I can't get past them, and we're only on the 2nd floor, right?
You are. And it'll be 2d6 damage, and then 1d6 from the glass.
Well, it's better than a bunch of vampires chomping on you.
6, 11, 13 damage as you smash through this. You can feel the glass just slather into your skin, stripping parts of it. Feel a finger slice open, the back of it scrapes open, and hit the ground with a splattering thud. You guys will definitely hear the window shatter in this case. And so I will basically just toss you guys into initiative then. So would you like to go fast or slow?
I have one question. Has it been an hour since I cast my vestments of shadows?
No, probably more like 20, 30 minutes at most,
Okay.
as you guys basically just check the winery and walk down the street. So no, it's probably about half hour.
Okay. I am going to go slow.
Actually, yeah, because he went slow. I'm going to say everybody, you guys are all going slow. If you're just moving towards him, do you want to do anything else as you move towards him? Or I'm assuming
On this round, once I hear all the crashing sound, I'm just running.
Okay. What about Mornek and Victor? You guys just going to run, or do you do anything else?
I think Mornek's just going to run.
Okay.
Yeah, Victor's going to run as well.
You guys will be able to get down through the
Using
kitchen.
all the movement.
Yep, you're going slow. So basically, don't move. You'll be able to, run out of this room that you're in, down through the kitchen, across the hall, into the attic chamber, and partway around the corner, in the distance, about another 40 feet, you can see the window ahead is just opened up, smashed, as it leads down to the street below, blood dripping from several of the jagged bits of glass, and you're going to see these 6 desiccated women. I guess I need will challenge rolls from all of you. With 1 Bane.
Well, that gives me 2 Banes then.
All right, I rolled a 1 on both dice. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, I have a 12 total. So I rolled a 17 minus 5, so it's a 12.
So you pass, Vasily. That would
Which
be
is odd. I'm the scared.
I got kind of lucky here. I got 11. I rolled a 16, and then with a Bane, it's a 6, so that goes it down to 10. But I get +1, so it's like, yes.
So you pass, Victor. Mornak, you were scared shitless of these things. You will see these 6 haggard-looking women. Parts of their flesh is starting to peel off, this gray slime beneath it. Black, dripping fangs. And 3 of them are going to run towards the window and leap out as well. Down towards mud. The other 3 will turn and just start rushing towards all of you. So actually we'll do initiative from there. So who would like to go fast or slow?
I will go fast.
Celie is fast.
We're in the hallway, right?
You're over into the attic chamber, which is like not really a hallway, but it's only 15 feet wide, but it's a long room before it gets down to the base of the hallway, or room, whatever you call it. It's kind of like a long, wide hallway.
Okay. So, I guess because we didn't really decide it before, but like who's in front and who's not in front, and are we like all standing together in a line?
I'd assume you all ran in there together.
Okay.
Because there's plenty of room to be grouped together.
I think Victor's going to go slow.
Victor goes slow.
Well,
I take
that back. How much movement between us and the vampires?
40 feet.
Okay, yeah, I'll still go slow then.
Slow and Mornak.
Mornek's going to go slow.
So, gotcha. And let's see. That's going to go fast. Slow. Gotcha. All right. In that case, Mud, you are up first. As you hit the ground with a thud, you see more of this glass raining down. A couple of them tear into your legs. One sticks into your shoulder, this jagged piece. Above you, you see three of these whorish things leap from the window as well and come flying down towards you. They hit the ground with thuds themselves, not really even paying much attention to the pain or anything. Take their damage real quick for you. Let's see. And 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And you did. Hold on, I just goofed up your damage for your spells. All I'm fixing it.
No problem.
And 4. All right, now we're good. So yeah, you see those three as they come down, smashing into the ground beside you, and start crawling and scrambling across the ground on all fours like these wild animals, almost their teeth bared as they rush forward. You are up first, though, Mud.
So they're basically almost on top of me.
Yep.
Do I still see any in the window?
No. I guess you might, if you glance up, you might see the other three looking down like they're getting ready to jump, but turn and start running the other way.
All right. Well, let me. I will let you make the decision on this. If I have enough time, my new spell, as Mud reaches into the air and the storms hit him, he fires a lightning bolt out. If I can fire it to a certain area and then it rebounds right back. So if I'm able to fire at the ones still in the window before they get away, then the ones in the window, anybody within 3 yards or a 1 yard radius, as I fire in a straight line, the ones in the window would have to roll 1 agility check. The ones within range of me that it goes back and forth would have to roll 2.
Okay. Yeah, because they're going slow, so technically by mechanics, they haven't moved yet.
Yeah. So pretty much as soon as Mud lands, he raises his hand up and gathers some of the energy and fire it out. And it would shoot up into the window and kind of hesitate for a second and shoot right back.
Nice.
So the ones, it's 30-yard reach, 1 yard wide. So anybody it hits once would get 1 agility roll. Anybody would get hit on the bounce back to me would have to make 2 agility rolls.
Okay, so the ones in the windows are going to make 1, and then the ones on the ground make 2.
All right.
I believe, yeah. Okay. So let's see the windows. What's the chili challenge rules? Pass. Okay, so let's do the windows first. 1 fail, 2 pass.
Okay, so the ones that pass are going to take 8 damage. The ones that fail are going to take 17.
Damn.
As just basically a full blast of lightning hits Mud, and he reaches his hands out and sends it back flying up.
All right, and then the ones on the ground need 2. So pass, and fail. Do they take a damage each time they pass or fail? Is that how it's
No, it's just that they would have to make 2 agility checks, or they just take the full damage if they fail one of the agility checks.
All right, so that one's going to take full because he failed. So let me just re-roll those 2 then.
Yeah.
And
So
pass and fail.
It's 5d6 damage, and a failure takes full damage. But anybody who is in the bouncing path has to take it a second time.
All right. So 2 failed then in that case. So they take what, 17 is it?
Yeah, 17.
17, nice. Damn. All right, so you guys back up there in the room will see this blast of lightning come from the ground up through this window and fry. Well, 2 of these get blasted. The third one is able to get out of the way a little bit. They are still up, but you can see these big scorch marks across their bodies. The room just smells of burnt flesh, hair, and dirt. And below you can see another flash go off outside the window that's coming from down on the ground. You probably could recognize some of Mud's spells, so you're familiar with what that may be. All right. Anything else, Mud?
He's Probably just going to bleed a little.
All right. You will still be on the ground prone in that case since you didn't use a move action to get up.
Right.
Vasily, you are up, going fast. Oh, you're muted. And they're about 40 feet away from you. You can see the three that are up there are coming towards you, though.
Is that medium range?
Yes.
40 feet. So how are they coming at us? Are they clumped together or are they spread out?
They're all clumped together.
Would I, with my quick step, be able to move a yard in any direction to get so that they were all in like a clump in a row?
Yeah, totally.
So what I'm going to do is I jump to the side with my cloven hooves and kick my heels up in the air, and I reach my hand out straight towards them, and these three orbs of spinning black energy form around my wrist, and they launch off towards the first one, and I make an agility attack roll, make an intellect attack roll against their agility. Okay. And what it does, so this is what it is it fires off these three orbs, and for each one that it hits, that moves them back 1d6 yards. So what I'm trying to do is slam the first one into the ones behind it, seeing if that would work.
Gotcha. It's going to be on that one. Let's see. Their agility is a 13.
13. So I'm going to make an intellect attack roll against that, and my intellect is +3. Oh, the first one's a miss. Second one's a hit, and the third one's a hit. So the first one goes sailing past, goes completely missing. The second one thuds into her. She takes 10 points of damage from that one. The second one, she takes 7 points of damage from that one, and she flies backwards a total of 3 times 9. What's that? Is it 8 to 20, 27 feet backwards.
Oh, Jesus. That's going to throw both of those right out the window as well. Yeah,
it's fine. 5 versus 1 is fine.
Well, I was hoping it would slam into the others and do damage to the ones behind it.
Yeah, getting thrown from the window is going to do damage to them too. So actually, 7. You're going to see 2 more come flying out of this window overhead, Mud, getting hit by something that just throws them through the air as they sail overhead. One's going to hit the ground out in the street and just splatter in a smear of gore. The other one will hit hard and roll a few feet, but is laying still. Can't tell if it's dead or not, but the one that's smeared across the ground has been blown apart from the impact. So that one is gone. Up. Down on the ground, there's 3 of these here, Mud. All 3 of them scramble across the ground, almost on all 4s, and lurch on top of you. I need a strength roll against the strength of them. So I need what's your strength?
My strength is right in front of me. 13.
All right. Well, good thing there's no crits in this game, at least not for this anyway. 2 of them are going to scrabble over, and you can see these black, rotting teeth, those long fangs in place of what were their incisors. They're gnashing at you. 2 of them sort of hold you down a little bit as the third one comes on and sinks its fang deep into your shoulder. And 3, 4. It's going to take 4 points of damage, Mud, and you are fatigued, which gives you another bane on everything you do.
And at this point, it's kind of...
And does this one pretty much sinks its teeth, and you can see some of its wounds start to heal over. It starts draining your blood and healing itself, Mud. The 3 upstairs. Oh, there's only 2 upstairs. No, there's only 1 upstairs, actually. So the one that's upstairs is going to rush forward. I guess being that you're the only one that really took anything, you right there, Vasily, it rushes towards you. I think... yes, it will reach you. It's quite fast. It sort of scrambles across the ground on all 4, much faster than you expect. Scribbles across the wall and kind of goes up on the wall a little bit as it leaps towards you. And what do we do here?
Unless it can see through darkness, which it probably can. I'm obscured.
Yes, it totally can.
Yeah.
19, 20, 22 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
And Oh, geez. Only 1, 2, 3 points of damage, though. As it smashes into you, sort of tries to bowl you over, these claws scraping at you, trying to get a hold of you. Mornek, you are up. Further back. Only one is up left in this chamber that you're at. Currently on top of Vasily. The other ones are blowing out the window.
Do I have any kind of forced action since I'm frightened of these things?
Nope, it just gives you 3 banes on anything you try to do with them. But you don't have to run or anything. You're just scared shitless of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and fire an explosive dart at them. That's the ones that actually explode when they hit.
I'm
Nice.
right by it.
I have this giant spider
Yeah,
on my
to
wall
say,
that I'm
like-
going to kill, so just don't mind me for a minute.
Get a shotgun.
Ugh, I hate spiders. Okay, go ahead. That was my Mornek moment of fear. It's like a
And I
tarantula.
rolled a dirty 20.
Ooh, that's going to be a hit.
So that's going to be 1d6. So one damage for each dart, and then 1d6 plus 1 in the area. So, sorry, my friend. That's 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Oh,
going
it
to
could
be
be
much more
worse.
than that.
And anything else? Because you still have a move action since you went slow.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and run over to see if I can assist Vasily any.
Okay, so yeah, you can move over by Vasily. It seems to distract this thing a little bit as you shoot off one of these darts that blasts into it and has a huge chunk taken out of its side. And Victor, you are up.
Okay. And it was about 45 feet away to the window that the vampires left.
The window is about 60
Down,
feet.
right?
About 60 feet for the window, about 40 feet
Oh.
for, well, that one's actually at you now, or on Vasily. But yeah, the window's about 60 feet away.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to do something cool, but I don't think I have enough movement technically to do it. But anyways, all right, so I'm just going to move up and try to swing my bastard sword with one hand and smack this vampire, hopefully. Do we want to say it's a bane for trying to swing a two-handed weapon with one hand?
Ah,
Or
I'm
is
sure.
it
If it's a bastard sword, they're usable one hand sometimes. So yeah, you're fine. Just do it like normal.
Oh,
Haven't you played Dark
Okay.
Souls?
yes, actually, I'm playing it right now. Well, not right now, but yeah, I'm doing a playthrough. So that'll be 12, 13, 14.
No, that does not hit. As your blade will swing over this thing, hit Dutches down quickly, and kind of scrambles around on the ground, coming up behind Vasily again. These black claws coming around him, but no, that is a miss.
Well, is it possible for me to interpose myself between Vasily and this creature?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
All right. That would be the end of the round. Outside, you guys can sort of see the outside. You can't see Mud since he's right down on the ground in front of the window, but you can see out to the street and what's going on. And Isaac, as you look around as well, you can see this outside. There's this howl, followed by barking. From the window, or in your case, Mud on the ground, you can see 3 massive dire wolves come running around the corner of a building, covered in mange and scars. And you hear a grunt as you kind of turn your head, Isaac, a little bit, and as the others glance outside, you're going to see Isaac standing out on the street. One of these wolves latches onto his arm and yanks it back. Not his cool arm, but his lame arm. Yanks it back, and he lets out the scream. Behind him, there's another dog, or another wolf that tears into the back of his calf, trying to tear at the tendons. You can see the third one as it jumps forward. It's coming right for his throat, and this huge arm that he has comes out and grabs this thing in the air by the throat, lifts it up, and the whole creature just bursts into this red flame, howling and screaming this animalistic pain as he heaves it off to the side. His axe seems to like almost appear out of nowhere suddenly into his hands as he turns around to face these other two that have a hold of him. And this thick gray fog begins to roll across the ground all around this town, and it's almost like everything suddenly stops in this slow motion. You can see these creatures on top of you, Mud, one sinking its teeth into your flesh, one behind you that's slowly pulling itself back up off of the ground. Upstairs, the one on Vasily slows a little bit, coming up to face Victor in front of it. You can hear the creaking and the croaking of a wagon. This red lantern hangs from the front of it. And it rolls down the street, seeming everything else around it almost silent, dead. The horses leading this thing are decrepit and starved, skeletal. You can see nothing in their eye sockets but blackness. And the man in the seat will suddenly stop, steps down from the carriage, walks around the side, and he opens up the door to the inside of the cabin. A man will step out, his bright, gleaming, shining black boots step on one step, the second, and then down into the muddy earth. And they touch down with a hissing sound. You can see steam rising up around them. The fog crawls around, almost like it's scared of them or making way for them, these little skeletal-like hands pulling away. And he'll step out, black leather boots, black pants, this crimson-colored vest, and this huge billowing cloak with a tall collar wrapped up around black hair. His skin seems sort of grayish, bluish color. And he'll look around. 6 more figures step out of the cabin behind him, lurching, swaying, and moving with these jutting, almost puppeteer-like motions. Their teeth are all serrated, and they drool this black ichor. And they look around. And he's going to walk forward. He glances in Isaac's direction. He'll look at yours as well, Mud, as he makes his way over to the Blue Water Inn and with a swift kick slams the door open. Would you guys like to go fast or slow?
How bad does this one look that's on me up here?
It's been hit a couple times. It's still fairly fresh, though.
Okay, I'll go fast.
I'll go fast too.
Let's see. Vasily's fast. Oh, Victor's fast. Got it.
No,
Or
I'm
not
gonna go
slow.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I'll go fast.
Victor's slow.
No, Mornak.
But Mornak is slow. Okay. And Mud.
I will. Well, I got what? 2 of them right on me, 1 nearby, and 1 just past me.
3 of them on you. 1 smeared across the ground dead, and the other one slowly picking itself up. But it's a good way. It got thrown way out the window from his blast. So
I am going to have to go slow here.
Vampires on you.
I'm sorry, I used the wrong word there. I meant fast. I can't.
But fast.
Yeah, I can't. Get up and run or anything. So.
All right. In that case, Mud, if you're going fast, you are up first. 3 of them are on you. 1 with its fangs stuck into your shoulder, draining you of blood. There was 1 in the distance, but it's not a threat, as it's quite a ways away.
I think as Mud was laying there, as the lightning bolt bounced back, and that's still kind of dancing around as these creatures bite into him, and he's kind of looking to one side, watching this person get out of the cart. All of a sudden, Mud will turn around and swing his arm around and actually cast Fork Lightning. Up to 2 creatures or objects within short range of each other and within medium range of me. I have to make a will roll with a boon plus my prayer of another boon. But they're going to cancel out, so it's 1 bane, right? Or with the fear.
4, because you're also fatigued. So 3 from the fear, 1 from fatigue. So 4 banes total.
So 2 banes because my 2 boons will cancel. 2 of the banes out. With the 2 banes, that is 16.
And that is against what?
That's Fork Lightning will attack roll against 2 of the creatures within range of me.
Does it say what stat? Is it defense or
Oh, I'm sorry, against its agility.
agility? In that case, it's a hit.
It is a hit.
Yep.
All right. So when a spell attack, that is considered just an attack roll, right?
Yep.
All right. So they're going to take 7. But as of now, whenever I use my prayer to make an attack roll, I get to add an extra D6. So that's an extra 3 for 10.
So 10. Do you want to hit the 2 holding you down or the 1 biting you?
The 2 holding me down. I'm thinking kind of what happened is the lightning bolt bounced back to me. And as I laid there and the lightning danced around, he kind of just expended the lightning in a static charge nearby him.
Nice. The one holding you down, you'll see the lightning just roll across her body as she explodes, just covering you in black blood, ichor, clotted bits of mucus. The other one is still holding you down. The other one's still biting you. But yes, that wipes out one of them as this blast of lightning goes off. Let's see. Next would be Vasily. You are up.
So quickly, I jump back away from it. Quick step 1 yard away. I reach out towards it and I fire off a shadow dart at it. So I make an intellect roll against its agility. That's a 12 plus 3 is 15.
Yep, that's a hit.
So it takes 7 points of damage and it's obscured by shadows, so it has 3 bans on any perception rolls that it takes.
Alrighty.
I doubt it's going to be making any perception rolls, but
Where did you go?
yeah.
All right, nice. It is still up as the shadow bolt blasts into it, but you can start to see these wounds opening up on it. Lets out this sort of inhuman scream. All right, vampire. Let's see. The one on the ground that is biting you automatically deals 4 points of damage to you, Mud, and heals 4. The other one holding you on the ground is going to try and sink its fangs into you with a 22. So I assume that's a hit with 3 points of damage from that one as it starts to drain your blood as well and heal itself. Oops, minus 3. And then the other one is dead. So if that puts Victor up, you will be going before the one that is on Vasily.
Well, it's 3 feet away.
All right.
Yeah, still.
And once again, Victor's going to try to just slice this thing in half with his best sword. Come on, give me a good roll. Oof. 19, 20, 21.
21 hits.
And is that, what was it, 5 points above their
No, it is not.
AC?
Nope.
Okay, so I get 2d6. Okay, I think I just get this much for now. Do we add strength to damage?
No, you don't. Nope.
Okay, then that's going to be 16 points of damage as my bastard sword comes down right on its shoulder and just cleaves into it.
Yes, you're going to completely rip this one arm of this thing off as it falls off to the side. It'll let out a scream as it tries to claw and bite at you. So it's just going to make its 2 attacks. So let's see, 10 plus 3. So I got a 13 and a 17.
The 17 will hit.
17, so 3, 6, 7 points of damage as its claws rake into your flesh. And you can see that it pulls it away, little bits of flesh still under its fingernails. It'll lick clean, sort of like it's slurping on a chicken bone. Let's see, that puts it over to the slow. Mornak, you are up first. In front of you, there's one that looks pretty badly injured that just took a swipe at Victor, but it's looking quite rough. Outside, you can see all this things going on, and there's one in the far distance that would be in sight, way out the window. It's about 120 feet away, though.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shoot off. Come on. One of my darts is better than the others.
I'm not within range of it now, I think.
I want the one that does 7 damage. I'm trying to figure out which one that is. Here we go. Unerring darts. It's the one where 7 darts. And they hit automatically.
So just a straight 7 damage.
Yeah, straight 7 damage.
And that will take it out as your bolts blast into this thing one right after another. You can see it keeps stumbling black as your blast hit into this thing, finally hitting the window and going over the side. Up above you, Mud, you'll see another vampire come out and just gets blown apart in the air.
Sure,
by
just send
darts.
them all out to me. No problem.
And then I'll use the last of my movement to run up to the window and look down.
You'll see mud on the ground covered in 3 of these things still. One in the far distance that's starting to pick itself up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's 2 on mud and one in the distance ready to pick itself up. And yeah, that one in the distance will pick itself up and start scrambling across the ground towards you, Mud, but it is not going to reach you yet. But you can see that it is coming, starting to hit the edge of the road. So, probably about 30 feet away, moving quite quickly towards you, though. And with that, it'll be the end of the round. Mornek, as you come up to the window and the others behind you, and Mud, in between these things sucking the life out of you, you can still look around a little bit as they give you hickeys. You can see behind you, down the street towards where the burgomaster's mansion is, Izek. His axe is back in his hand, and he sweeps it around at this wolf behind him, severing its skull in 2 and sending brain matter splattering across the outside of the Blue Water Inn. 2 more wolves will bound forward from the darkness, leaping on top of him. And the Blue Water Inn itself, you hear a woman's blood-curdled scream as it pierces the night. And this man that got out of the carriage, he stands in the doorway, doesn't enter, but he puts his hand up and he motions forward. It takes a few moments, but you see Irina appear in the doorway, steps out from the Blue Water Inn. Her face is calm looking, but you can see the horror or the control that this man has over her in her eyes. And she sort of looks around with this fear. And he'll bow down. Oops. It's 8 o'clock. He'll bow down on one knee, this cape billowing out around him. He'll sweep it forward and takes out his hand and takes hers and kisses it gently. He'll stand back up and leans in close to the side of her face, and you can see something is said, and she'll nod. And with that, he turns and starts to walk off the porch of this place, down the steps, and across the yard towards the street. Behind him, these 6 lurching ghoul-like things will bound and step and lurch forward behind him as they all start to make their way towards the church. That is the end of that round. Who would like to go fast or slow?
They're not going back to the cart. They're going towards the church.
They're going towards the church.
Would I be able to make it to the window with 1 move action?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go slow because I still have to move up there.
Stevie is slow. Gotcha.
Mornak will go slow.
Victor is slow.
Victor is slow. Mornek is slow.
Um,
Slow.
What would it be? 1 single check to get free of both of them, and then be able to run off?
Nope, it would be a strength check against both. So you might be able to get 1 off of you, but if you failed the other, it would still be on you.
All right. I will go fast then.
Nope. In that case, Mud, you are up first. These 2 that are on you, a 3rd one is running across the yard and across the street, coming towards you, but it's not there yet.
At that point, the lightning is just still arcing left and right out of mud all over as Fork Lightning gets cast again for 15 against agility. 14,
Yes,
14 against
14
agility.
is a hit.
All right. So it is, once again, with my prayer and extra D6. Oh, that hurts. I rolled a 6 and a 5 on my 2D6 plus 2, so 11.
11. They are both still standing, though, thanks to your blood that is fueling them. As yes, they will have a hold their fangs still deep within, and their turn is up, so they're just going to deal their damage and suck more blood. 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage that you're going to take. You'll start to see more of the scars, these wounds, burnt flesh starting to scab over this thick black ichor. Vasily, you would be up.
Okay, so I just book it. I run to the window, click my heels, jump to the edge, and I look down there. I reach down with my hands like I'm pulling something up out of the ground, and this inky pool of darkness appears right behind these vampires, like maybe 10 feet away. And out of it crawls this Vanta black spider-like shadow monster, and it comes charging in towards both of them.
Nice. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, and we'll just have that go on your turn like before. Okay. And Victor, you are up.
So Vasily's like in the window frame, right?
It's a big bay window, so it's like about 15 feet across.
Oh, okay. Thank God, because I was still gonna do it, but wasn't sure if Vasily was gonna come with me voluntarily or not. Victor's going to get literally a running jump, and he's going to just jump straight through this window and then look out on the ground and see where he's going and try to land on one of these creatures, either the ones that are attacking mud if I can reach, or the one that is getting up and heading towards mud.
If you try to get the ones that are right on top of mud, so you probably don't want those, but the other one that is running forward, you could definitely try to tackle or land on. Yeah.
Yep.
Go take 2d6.
Well, I'm going to try to, like, as I'm coming down, I want to, like, have my bastard sword, like, basically attacking that way, not, like, tackling them. So, oh, God, that's the wrong time to roll a 1 on the D20. So it's like, the way I see it is I jump out the window and didn't get the distance and just go straight down to the ground and smack.
Heavier armor than you thought. As you leap out, you'll miss this thing. 10 points of falling damage, though, as you hit the ground hard. Your blade burying itself down into the dirt. What did you get for your D20?
You said the D20 roll was only a 1. Oh, okay. But you said 6 points of damage?
10. 10 points of damage.
That's
and you'll see your blade of your sword.
Actually,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm going to go ahead and use my, what is it called in this, triggered action to heal myself. So basically, I take no damage.
Perfect. Hit the ground hard. You can see the blade of your sword digs deep into the earth. You give it a tug, and it's buried quite deep and doesn't move. And Mornak, you are up.
Okay. I want to try and not, like, jump out the window, but maybe try to, like, climb down with my two move actions.
Oh, come on. Join the club.
You can give me an agility or strength, whichever one you want.
My agility's higher.
All right, yes, just do an agility challenge roll.
And is that with the 1 bane?
No, there's plenty of things to hold on to as you would climb down outside and stuff, and it's not against the vampires per se. So no, just a regular straight up.
Okay, that's going to be an 8. 12.
12. So yeah, it'll take your movement action, basically get up the window, and then your movement action to climb down. Do you want to try and do anything else when you reach the ground, or are you just basically just going careful so you can get down to the ground.
Actually, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and cast when I get down. If I have enough actions left.
No, you wouldn't, because you basically have to dash a movement action to get up to the window, and then your regular action to climb down. Unless you have anything that
that's
would
what I
be
figured.
like a bonus or free, but not to cast.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything that's free.
All right, so yep, he would climb down. He would get to the ground safely. See these two on top of mud and all this other stuff starting to go on around you guys. And the one that's bounding across the ground is going to rush forward, since you're right there, Victor, and come on top of you. So what's it have? Claw, bite. Let's see. I got a 17, a 23, and a 23. I'm assuming that all hits. Does a 17
All
hit?
those yeah.
It's going to be kind of nasty. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20. 25 points of damage as this thing lays into you. Scrambles on your back, the claws sinking in, the fangs sinking into your shoulder.
It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. And that is the end. That's the end of the vampires. So that would be the end of the round. As everybody gets to the window or outside, and Mud, you get one of these creatures off of you a little bit anyway. You can see in the distance Izek as he hurls another one of these wolves aside like a rag doll, like one of those Irina dolls that are in his room, before splitting the other one in half and turning to face the last one, and it snarls at him. With a roar, he'll charge forth, sweeps a blade across this thing, tearing apart the lower jaw and sending it splattering into the wall behind him of the Blue Water Inn. And he'll run forward. He looks over his shoulder for a moment in the direction of where this other man and these ghouls are shambling up the road. And he looks over at Irina as she sits on the, not really sitting, but she's kind of crouching down on the steps, like she's waiting. And he'll look back over at this figure. He sort of glances in the direction of all of you as you're jumping from the window and smashing into the ground. And then he runs forward, grabs Irina by the hair and by the arm, and starts dragging her down the street in the opposite direction towards the gates of the city. In the distance, Izek does. Okay. Yes. And then in the distance, you can see this cloaked figure moves almost within human speed, just a blur, and then he's gone. All these ghouls, these lurching zombie-like things that he had with him, break off, some going into houses, some smashing at doorways, pulling people through windows. And in the distance, you can see a flash of flame at the church, a second, and then a third as these explosions go off. And it only takes a moment to hear the screams of those within as they start to burn alive in this cold night. What do you guys do, fast or slow?
I will go fast.
Victor fast.
Fast.
I have 2 on me still.
Yep.
I will go fast.
And everybody's going fast. All right. All right, so that puts Mud. You are up first. 2 of them are still atop you. You're hurting them, but you can see that they're just draining your blood and healing themselves as fast as you're hurting them at the moment.
So, seeing the lightning's not working all that well, you're going to see a little flash in Mud's one good eye, and kind of ice will form all around Mud and pop out into spikes. Essentially healing Mud for 8. And then they need to make a roll that I'm looking up really quick. I think it's a strength check or take 1d6 damage, but I'm going to confirm it. There it is. Uncertain Fate. Too many books. Too many books. Wrath of Winter.
Oh, just be glad it's not Pathfinder.
Yeah. Strength challenge roll where they take 1d6 damage from a wave of cold as it rushes.
All right. Both rolled a 2, so that is a hit.
So 4 for each of them, and I heal 8.
Nice. You see these jagged spikes and stuff blurst out as they pierce through their flesh. They'll let out a little bit of a scream, but they hold on tightly, giving you one hell of a hickey on either side. Yes, they are both still up. And Vasily, you would be next.
So my shadow monster is just going to charge in with its mantis-like scythe arms. Just going to come in and just try to snap one of their heads off. It's going to make an attack roll with 1 boon. So that's a 14 plus 3 is 17 plus 3 from his strength. So that's a 20, dirty 20.
Yep, that is a hit.
So 1 hit does 1d6 plus 2 damage. So it does 5 points of damage.
Nice. All right. It is.
And then can I act or do I have to act as?
Nope. Would have Vasily's turn as well.
Okay. So that I just reached out the same one that it hit. That it hit. I fire off a bolt, a shadow dart at it as well. And that's attacking its agility. That's a 15.
That's a hit.
I rolled 2 1s, so it does 2 points of damage, and it's obscured with shadow. So it has perception check with 3 damage.
Yes. Can't quite tell where it's giving you this hickey mud, but it still holds on tightly, sucking away. Nice. Victor, you are up. And there's one that's holding on to you. Its teeth in your shoulder, these claws digging into your back. It's flesh. It's hugging you dearly. What would you like to do?
Okay.
Your
Well,
weapon
as
is
it's hugging
buried
me,
in the
I'm
dirt.
going to. I know, but I have a dagger. I'm going to pull it out and just start stabbing this thing in the gut.
Go for it.
So, well, correct me. For the fifth level warrior ability, didn't you say that I get to do an extra D6 damage or make an attack against another target?
Correct. Yep.
And also, Victor, take that
Okay.
one with a boon
All right.
as Mud reaches out and icicle shards come across his dagger.
Alrighty. So that will be 18, 19, 20.
20. Yep, that is a hit.
So, also, before you decide what you do there, Victor, as the ice kind of forms over your blade, it creates other jagged shards, increasing your damage by 1d6. Just from my prayer.
Oh, wow. Okay. So how do we do a D3? Do you want me to roll a D4 or just roll a D6 and then?
Give me a
Do it that
D6
way,
and
or-
cut it in half.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to use different color dice there. So
Yeah, how are we going to separate? So 1 and 2 is 1, 2, 3 is, or 3, 4 is 2, and 5, 6 is 3.
okay. Oh no. Oh, actually, you said I get another D6 from that. So 3, 4, 5. That'll be 11 points of damage from this dagger.
It's close, but not quite. It continues to hold on as you start disemboweling this thing, and your hand just sinks into this bloated gut. You can feel what's left in there seems to be rotted out as it spills across the ground. Stench is quite horrible, but it hangs on tightly. And Mornek, you would be up. 1 is atop Victor, 2 still atop Mud. You can see like Izek dragging Irina away, and this other people going up the street.
I think I'm gonna do my second unerring dart. So that's the one that does 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna shoot it at whichever one on Mud looks more damaged.
I think that will. Yep. That will blow one of these ones off of them as your darts get into it. But as the 6 dart slams into it, it's just going to blow it off to the side of them. They'll lay there in this burning, blackened heap. You're down to just one left on you, Mud. And more neck. Let's see. The one that is on you, still sucking away, Mud, is going to do another 3 points of damage. Slightly heal. And then over on you, Victor, this other one just continues to scrabble, trying to tear its flesh. It's not really trying to suck your blood. It's just going into a complete frenzy on you. So let's see. I got a 21, a 14, and an 18.
2 will hit.
2 will
1
hit.
will miss.
So it's going to be, ouch, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 more points of damage.
I am down.
This thing looks like it just goes into an absolute frenzy. If you are down, then it's going to start draining your blood, actually, so it's going to heal 4. As it brings Victor down to the ground, it just wraps its body around him. You can see these fangs are just pouring forth, digging deep into his neck as it just lays there, just slurping away at his bloodied form on the ground. And that is the end of that round. You can see as it disappears around the corner in the distance, Irina's screams echoing in the night. The church itself is just an inferno of flames going up. Chaos starts to reign around as all these ghouls are ripping people from windows, bearing into the doorways. You'll see Irwin at the Blue Water Inn run out the door. He has looks like a simple bronze breastplate over his shoulder or over his chest and a mace in his hands. He's going to start taking off closer to like one of the houses that are around and start bashing at this ghoul that's dragging a woman through a window. And you guys are up. Fast or slow?
How close together is the vampire on me and the vampire on Victor?
Victor fell straight from the window, so probably within 10, 15 feet at the most. He's pretty close to you.
So within
I don't
short
like
range,
your girlfriend's Mud.
Yeah.
within short range of each other.
Yep.
Okay, I will go fast.
What goes fast? Got it.
Warneck's going to go slow.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Victor's
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go.
gurgle.
I'm gonna go fast.
Let's see these fast. And what was that, Victor? Fast? Oh, you're down. My bad.
He's gurgling.
Yeah, gurgle is what Victor's doing.
Yeah, let's see the vampires. Annie's just going to go fast because they're already on you, so they don't need to do anything. So, all right. So that puts Victor up first. I need that death roll. A 1d6.
Just a straight D20, right?
Nope, a
Oh,
d6.
D6, yep. Come on. 2.
2. So you are just laying there bleeding out at the moment. Just make a mark that you've made one roll. Mud, you are up.
All right.
So Mud is going to see Victor go down, spin his head around to the one in front that's on him, and you'll see his one good eye go white with frost. As Mud will reach up, grab the sides of the vampire's head and bite the vampire, and lightning will shoot through and then fork off to the other one that's on Victor as well. So they both need to make, or I make a will attack roll against agility with my prayer, giving me,
Don't forget your boons, too.
my banes as well.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
2 banes.
Yep.
So 18 minus 2, 16.
And that's against their agility?
Agility.
That is a hit.
So, because my prayer was added to that, it is 5, 6, 7 points of damage to each of them.
Good thing they can suck blood and heal themselves.
Oh,
Yeah, so most of them get fried quite a bit. The one on Victor gets pushed back a few. The one on you holds tight. You can feel its claws deep in, holding you quite tightly in its throes of love, icky, making it is still on you and still alive, though.
Jesus.
Fast. All right, let's see. Vasily, you are up. You and your...
What about the one that was on Victor? Did that get blown back or?
Yeah, it's still on him. Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
So with the one that it had attacked before is now juice, so it's going to just turn and take its mantis claws and try to sink it into this last one that's on mud. That's only a 2, so that's a miss.
Yes, miss.
Even with a boom, that's going to miss. And then I reach out towards the one that's on Victor, and I fire off. I'm running out of spells because I burned them all on Augur. So I cast Magic Dart, and it's going to automatically do... it does 3 points of damage automatically.
And the one on Victor?
Yeah, so it just a bolt of white energy that shoots from my finger and just slams into its side.
Nice. You see, there's one huge gaping hole, second and a third as they slam into it. It is up, but looking basically mangled into pieces, missing parts of its body. One hand is blown off, side of its face is scorched. But it is holding tight. Let's see, and that puts... let's see, Monarch's going slow. So Vampire on Mud's not back yet. So Victor, just mark off as if you had another roll because it's going to automatically deal damage to you and heal itself slightly. In that case, Victor, if you next turn when you make your death roll, if it is a fail or you don't get a 6, your character will be dead. And
Sorry.
Nope,
I
you're
had to
good.
step away for a second. Am I dead yet?
Nope. Well, it's coming. The one on you is going to suck some blood
I'm almost.
and deal 6 points of damage, Mud, as it heals itself slightly.
6?
Yep.
Okay, Mud is even grayer than normal. But he's still got a little twinkle in his eye. He's got like 1 out of 34 of a twinkle.
Yeah, much like the vampire that is on Victor has a slight twinkle in its eye, but actually healed a little. Apparently can't heal. Suck much blood from somebody who's already lost most of it. All right. And Mornak, you are up.
Okay, so there's one on Victor.
Yep, Victor is down on the ground. One on top of him still licking his face and getting what nourishment it can. And one still on Mud. Both of them are pretty beat up, but they're barely hanging on. Well, actually, the one that's on Mud just had a good sucking session, so it's doing a little bit better at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the explosive darts again.
What is the explosive? Does it deal damage to who's around it? Right?
Yeah, I basically shoot off 3 darts. So it's 3 points, and then I do 1d6 plus 1.
Okay, keep in mind, it's going to either, depending on which one you hit, it's either going to hit Mud and deal damage to him, which he's really close, or it's going to hit Victor, who was already down, and if he gets hit again, he's dead.
Okay, let me just switch to doing the magic.
So it'd be like better.
So 1d3 plus 1.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to let it happen.
Okay, 3 points of damage.
And which one is that on?
That's the one that's on Mud. Or, sorry, on Victor, because he's down.
All right, that will take it out, finally.
Oh, okay.
As these 3 blasts go into it, blowing it apart the last little bit. And you see its tongue going, licking across Victor's face for any little bit of nourishment, but it doesn't do so as you explode its head across the ground. And that is everybody's slow. And all right. So there's just one left on top of Mud. What would you guys like to do? Fast or slow?
Oh, Vasily goes fast.
Vasily is fast. I'm pretty sure Victor has corruption.
Oh, and then after I shot that thing, I wanted to run up to Victor as well with my movement.
Okay.
I will go.
I think we're all corrupted.
I think Dre is the only one that's not corrupted.
Yeah, he just has a lot of insanity.
Yeah.
I will go slow, and which makes sense because Mud is almost drained, so I don't think he's capable of going fast.
All right. Victor?
Victor's gonna gurgle more, or do you want me to make that roll now?
Oh, I'll do that in just a second. I forgot about that. Good call. And Mornak.
Okay.
Ornak's gonna go slow.
So does Victor's roll happen at the top of the round, or does it depend on...
Yep, it happens at the top of the round.
All right, so even if I went
So
quick,
there's
he makes a roll before me.
chance. Yeah, there's a chance here that I'm gonna die anyways. So,
Being that you guys are going, well, you will die at the end of the round. Even if you fail this one, if somebody gets to you before the end of the round, you could be saved. But if nobody gets to you or does anything by the end of the round and you fail this one, you're dead.
Unless I roll a 1.
If you roll a 1, you're automatically dead.
1, though, right?
6 will give you 1 hit point. 1 will kill you.
Yep.
Well, 1 will do the same, actually, at this point. So go ahead and give us a d6.
Alrighty, come on, dice roll. Ooh, and that's a 6.
You got 1 hit point.
You are officially on the same boat as Mud.
With that, you have to go slow, though. So I will put you into slow. And that puts Vasily, you are going fast, so you are up.
Okay, so my ever silent shadow monster is going to try to swipe at him one more time. And that is a 15, 16, 17, 18.
18 is a hit.
18 is a hit. And it does a total 5 damage with its claw.
Okay.
And then I reach down and point my finger at it and fire off another dart. Ooh, it does 4 points of damage.
Good thing you have very nourishing blood, Mud, because it is still up. And it's going to go. And yeah, it's going to drain you again with another 6.
Oh my god.
Mud's one eye rolls back into the back of his head.
As you go down, yeah, it's gonna pull off of you as it takes the last little blood off your face, turns, and it will try to get this.
Since I only had 1 hit point left, does it actually get 6 back? Or?
It does.
Okay.
And since that monster thing's right there, it's going to lash out at that thing. What's its defense? You muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. 13.
Oh, yeah. It got a 17, 17, and a 22, so it will hit with all 3. 26 points of damage it will take.
So as it rips into it, it just splinters. It just turns up like shreds of paper, like shreds of shadow, and just dissipates.
Nice. And it will turn towards. You're all right there. Mornak, this blood just covering its face, down its chest, and as it drops down, it gets ready to scrabble towards you. Let's see.
I think I'm actually lucky that they all went in for bites on me. Like, these claw attacks are nasty.
Yeah. And let's see. Vasily went, Vampire went, Victor, you are up. With your slow action, you have 1 hit point, so...
Isn't, Did Mornak already go?
No, Victor
normally
Mud.
he's in front of me.
I just have it randomly kind of toss them in. It has Victor, Mornak, and Mutter. You guys are all slow.
Oh, okay.
So
All right,
go for it.
I have to spend half my movement standing up, don't I?
It would be a move action to stand up. Yeah. Well, a move action to stand up, but half. You could only be able to move half if you decided to move also.
Okay, but the creature's like within half range, like I can reach it though.
The one that, yeah, it's right there beside you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you and me died like next to each other.
Yeah,
Then,
you're both you were side by side.
Victor's going to like stand up and try to like hold basically all his bite wounds from bleeding out too much, and then he's gonna like stumble forward and try to stab this thing one final time, hopefully. Actually, no, I get another D6. So 21, 22, 23. That's 23.
23 is a hit. Not above 5, though. Yes,
Okay,
it is
now
actually.
is that
18,
5?
23. Yes, it is 5. Yep.
Sweet. So that will be that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points of damage.
It is not dead yet. Unfortunately. But, let's see. That puts Mud. You are down, so I need a death roll from you. 4. So just make a note that you've made 1 so far. And Mornak, you are up. Mud on the ground is bleeding out. This other zombie, well, vampire-ish thing is scrabbling towards you, fangs bared, covered in blood, mostly Mud's.
Okay.
It is quite bloodied. In between bloods of Mud, there's some of it as well. You just can't tell how much is of which. But it's not looking good.
That sounded like the creepiest Dr. Seuss line ever.
Okay, now, can I tell how much intellect these creatures have?
You could give me a either wisdom if it was religious based, being that they're undead, or intellect just to try and judge them.
Just intellect?
Yeah, just give me an intellect with it.
That's not going to be it. That's going to be a 7.
Yeah, you're not sure. I mean, they come across semi-intelligent, but they're quite animalistic as well, so.
I'm going to try and mind stab one of them.
All right.
So that's an intellect roll against its intellect.
Against its intellect is a 10.
Damn.
And that's going to be a 9 plus, I've got 3, so 9. That's going to be a 12.
That will hit.
And that's going to be 1d6 plus 6 damage. 12 points of damage.
Right. As you lash out and, try to push your brain into this one or stab him or something, you can see that it looks at you. It shakes its head a little bit, but it seems almost unfazed by this psychic barrage. You get the sense that, even though it has a bit of intellect, it is completely immune to psychic damage.
Damn. That's pretty much just him.
And that puts more neck. That's the end of the round. Clear those.
I will bleed quickly.
So let's see. Mud's going to need a death roll. And Vampire is going fast. So Vasily, Victor, and Mornak. Fast or slow?
Vasily fast.
Big
Mornak fast.
Fast. All right, you guys are up before it then. So Mud, give me that death roll first. You got a 1. So if somebody doesn't get to you by the end of the round, Mud is gone. Vasily, you are up.
All right, well, I point my finger at that vampire again and fire off another magic dart. It automatically does 4 points of damage.
You can describe how you take it out finally.
So I imagine it's just like scrabbling and crawling on the ground, pulling itself towards Mornak. Just as it's like rearing up to leap at him, the magic dart just fires off my finger, rips through its eyeball, and flies out the back of its head with a spray of blood out the back of its head.
Nice. And let's see, that puts Vasily. So Victor and Mornak. There's no enemies left, but you guys can try to do something to Mud to save him if you have anything.
I don't have a healer's kit on me, but I think I'm going to try and grab his kit to see if I can find one.
Does not
I have one. I have one, but I'm upstairs.
Yeah, I have I have one as well. Like I'll try to best I can without bleeding all over the healer's kit or him, and try to like heal him as well.
All right, give me a. Oh, what is it? A will, I believe. Yeah, a will challenge roll. Being how much damage Mud is taking, I'm going to say with one Bane though. Both of you can try actually, since I mean Victor would come over, you'd be right there as well, Mornak, so you both can try patching up a few wounds.
Well,
Yeah, no.
I think I'm going to let Mornak just take the lead. Well, shit.
Yeah, you
I don't
don't
like
want to
that
do
you
that.
said
I
that
rolled a
after I
3.
said that. Okay.
So yeah, Mornak, you start wrapping, bandaging what you can, but his fingers and his toes are just falling off as fast as you wrap him up.
So that'll be a 9, 10. Oh, wow. I rolled a 10. I got a
10.
15 and then a Bane of 6. Oh,
+1 for
so lucky that I got that +1.
for
Yeah.
wisdom. Gotcha. That will put you at 1 hit point Mud then, because 10 is a success.
Wow.
I'm gonna say, well, you're already fatigued. Keep that fatigued though, because you're obviously not going to be doing anything really anytime soon.
I carefully climb down while they're doing that.
Actually, I'll just leave you unconscious. Put yourself at 1, Mud, but you leave yourself unconscious.
Makes sense.
And you guys climb down. What do? You can see in the distance the church is just an inferno that's going off. The screams have pretty much died down. All around you, bodies litter the streets off to the side. You can see some people hanging out of windows, dragged through doorways. There's a few of these ghouls left here and there, just tearing apart at the flesh of people. Irwin and there's quite a few others. You can see Stefani and some others have taken up arms and are slowly going through and trying to kill what they can of those. You don't see any sight of that cloaked figure, nor do you see Isaac or Irina.
When I see all these ghouls ripping people apart, my paranoid, fearful nature kicks in, and I cast Hide from Undead on myself.
Nice.
I'm gonna yell for Dre to come down and bring the bones.
Yeah, he'll make his way down around and come down through the front doorway. He won't jump from the window. This sack of bones over his shoulder.
Is there a do the undead kind of like stay away from us now, or is it like they still coming?
Hey, Diane.
Oops, there's only a few, but
Can
I'm
we
all
tell
right.
if we're the bones?
Hey, your daughter's a...
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, I got it. There's only a few left, but it looks like Stefania and Irwin and some of the Keepers of the Feather and some of the other townspeople have bashed them in the best they can. They're taking care of it kind of quick. There don't seem to be a threat.
Well, I just wanted to know if the bones are working still, because just moving them from the church, like the bones should still work if they were in the town, but since they're not working, like it must be, combination of the church plus the bones.
Right. Yeah, they don't seem to be affecting them at all, or anybody around, or even the vampires that were, stationed across the wall from them. It didn't affect them at all. It seems to be something more about the church or buried or blessed sort of thing.
On the bright side, they're not going to be expecting us to be doing a dance routine tomorrow.
That's true. Should we go after Irina?
I mean, can we even... Mud is unconscious. You're practically dead. Why aren't you dead? I don't know. Leaping from the window like that.
Oh, I'm fine. Like, I could still go rounds.
I mean,
like, and as that, like, more blood is coming off of Victor. Like,
I'm
he's
pretty
just
sure
bleeding all over.
You might have like shin splints or something wrong with your legs.
Yeah, I feel fine. It's just a flesh wound.
I think we should tend to mud and lick our own wounds and regroup. I don't know what we can do right now.
Hmm.
Do we know if anyone in town has some healing potions? Those are coming handy right now.
Yeah, you haven't met anybody. If you had to guess, the only people who might have anything, that would be either the Burgomaster, Isaac, or Irwin.
Irwin is the goober of the Blue Water Inn, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna grab Mud by one of his feet, or foot, I should say, and like start dragging him to the Blue Water Inn because I got one hand. So, or unless Mornak and Vasily is gonna help me like put him on my shoulder so I can carry him that way.
I'm going to use my last endurance point and heal 5 points.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I'm gonna spend two of mine. You get half your healing rate, right?
I believe that's what it was.
You
get your healing.
Quarter. Yeah, your healing rate.
Your healing rate.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, then after that, like, Victor's looking pretty good, considering how, bloodied he was there for a moment.
Well, Victor hasn't really stopped bleeding in days, has he?
Yeah. He's always bloody.
He has not. Well, actually, no. There was one point he stopped bleeding when he poured the wine all over his face. Like, that was the only point he stopped bleeding.
I must have missed that one.
There would be the wagon and the horses and the cart would still be in the street too. You'll see the driver or the carriage leader, whatever he's called, up in the seat, just waiting patiently. This frail-looking skeletal man doesn't really pay any attention to what's going on around. He just sits there and stares straight forward at these sickly, undead-looking horses. It's going to be further down the street, probably past the Blue Water, and more closer to where the Burgomaster's mansion is. So, like a good quarter of a mile down the street or so.
I'm going to, without asking anyone, I'm going to start dashing towards it. I'm confident in my hide from undead spell, but I'm just going to dash towards this carriage.
Actually, nobody's undead, so you guys would see Vasily as he runs off down the street then towards the carriage. What do you want to do?
When I get there, I want to look in and see what's in there. See if
Inside,
there's anything I can grab, pilfer, steal.
Inside, you can see it opens up, and it's just a plush seat on either side. It smells and reeks of death. There's going to be a small... what is it? Let's see. There's a small chest underneath the bench seat in it. Otherwise than that, it's just some artwork on the walls and nothing, just like plush.
I pull the chest out and try to open it.
It is locked. You don't see a key anywhere. It's small, though.
I pull it out and run back towards the group. So I'm like 4 or 5 feet tall. I'm running back with his chest and arms. This might have more of those potions that was left before when we fought the wolves.
And what do the rest of you do?
Well, like I said, I was either dragging or carrying Mud to the Blue Water Inn.
All right, go up the stairs and you can see Ismark is in there. He's on the ground, unconscious. He's been bloodied up quite badly. And you can see what looks to be a huge bite mark that's been taken out of his shoulder like a wolf had bit him. There's a few other patrons that are on the ground as well, bleeding out. They're dead. You don't see the wife. Irwin is out on the streets currently taking care of the ghouls as well. Only other person in there you'll see sitting in the back of the room He kind of leans back in a chair, his feet resting up on the table. This figure, it's in dark
Better not be
clothing.
Jack.
He's in dark clothing. He has a hat that's sort of pitched forward a little bit. He's not moving or anything, but it looks like he's asleep or something with his feet kicked up on the table.
Okay. Is the rest of the group with me, or like where did Vasily run off to?
I ran off towards the cart, and then I got the chest out, and I started running back
I know,
towards
but
you
then
guys. So I'm with you.
Okay. Did Mornek follow? I guess is the question, or is he off the phone yet? Okay.
Yes, he did.
Do we recognize this guy's outfit? Like, have we seen it before?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I think we got more pressing matters. Should we? Victor's going to turn and ask the group. It's like, should we ask around if there's an apothecary in town? Maybe we can go and find some healing from there.
I think there's no one else here but this weirdo with the hat. I'm gonna go check on Isaac. Or not Isaac, but Ismark.
Ismark. Go over. You kind of just keep this chest under your arm or something. Go over to Ismark. He's alive. You can see he's just completely unconscious. The bite mark comes down one arm, and the whole shoulder has been torn out. And it looks like he has a few other bites here and there. One of the back of his legs, the tendon, has been ripped. It's definitely a wolf attack, from what you can tell. You guys have probably noticed a couple windows in the back side of the building that have been smashed open. You don't see a wolf anywhere, but that's definitely what it's.
I'm going to look up to the guys that, hey, you want to give a little hand here, fellow?
This figure, you can see one boot swing over the table, go down to the ground, and the other. He'll sit up a little bit and tips his hat back. And you see a elf, black-skinned, drow-looking elf. And his eyes just completely white. You guys have met him before on the road to Valakai, this figure that stopped you in your path and healed Irina.
Oh, you again.
Says, it looks like your friend needs a bit of healing. He'll stand up and start walking across the floor. These heavy leather boots that he wears don't make a single sound on the cobblestone or the floorboards, though. Says, I could take care of that for you.
Well, will you?
Says, no.
I didn't
could.
think so. Yes.
He says, you've been quite impressive. Quite impressive. And he'll look out the window to these dead vampires in the street. My master, he would be impressed as well. He was quite curious on what you've been up to. And he'll dig around in his pocket for a few moments, pull out this small piece of paper that's folded up, and he sort of just flicks it in your direction, Vasily. It'll hit the ground and slide over to you. I can't wait to meet again. And with that, he'll turn and just walk towards the door to leave.
I pick the note up, open it up, and look in and see what's in it.
What time is it? 8:50. I will have to give you the handouts after the game, but as you open it up, you can see it's an invitation to Strahd's dinner party.
Oh, lovely.
That you have been cordially invited to.
I stick it in one of my pockets. I pull out my healer's kit. And does Isaac look like he's bleeding out, dying? Or is Ismark?
Ismark, no. He looks unconscious. Well,
oh, okay.
I mean, it looks like somebody tended to him and patched him up for a little bit,
okay.
but he's completely unconscious. But otherwise,
okay,
he won't die.
Victor's going to go back because he completely spaced it, and he's going to try to pull out his bastard sword from the ground. And he will basically stay there until he gets it out, and once he does, he'll come back and like start helping with the wounded, or like start pulling people away that are completely dead, and basically kind of putting them into a pile to maybe burn later.
Yeah, it's as you guys try to rest a little bit, Irwin will eventually come back, and I believe he has pretty good. Actually, he can just heal you, Mud. He will heal you 2 times your healing rate. Yeah, Irwin will come back and looks around as he steps through the doorway, sees his mark and these others, and will shuffle over, bending down next to Mud. And he'll put his hands on the side of your head, and he mumbles a few words. You can see these black tendrils weep off of his skin and sort of wrap around Mud, seeping into wherever he has these wounds and these bites. And yeah, do 2 times your healing rate, Mud.
I'm sorry, who's that healing me?
Irwin, the patron of the Blue Water Inn. It looks like Strahd got his wish, eh? The church, they're all gone. Father Lucian was the last screams I heard. I couldn't make it in time. And the burgomaster, he sits in his house and didn't even leave at the place. The ghouls, they all ignored it. I think he's behind this. His foolish stupidity. He only egged the devil on. You guys will all hear the creaking of this wagon, the soft whinny of the horses, and if you look outside, you can see the wagon making its way back out of town.
Did anyone survive?
Yeah, yes, a handful. The guards were quick to take notice and take arms. Between us and them, we were able to kill the puppets, the things that were with him. But he destroyed the church, all of the innocents that were in. Many people fled there for safety to begin with, and most of them died with it. So there's a handful of us left, but this town is gone.
Not that I think it's worth much now, but at least we found the remains of this Saint Anvil.
Well, perhaps we can bless the ground once more if we can find a ritual for it. But, like you said, it's a bit too late now.
What was that piece of paper you found this evening?
Oh,
or not
yes.
found, that...
Our good drow, our good elf, black-skinned elf gave to me. It's an invitation to dinner at Strahd's.
I can find it here. I can read it for you. Or maybe I don't have it right here. Yes. My friends, know that it is I who have brought you to this land, my home, and know that I alone can unrelease you from it. I bid you dine at my castle, so that we can meet in civilized surroundings. Your patronage here will be a safe one, and I await your arrival. Your gracious host, Strahd von Zerovich.
Well, does it sound like it's a potluck? Like we're
Does
supposed
it
to
have a
bring
date?
anything?
It does not have a date.
Ornak's gonna snatch it out of the Seeley's hands, read it over once, throw back his head and go, "No!"
What's wrong with you?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Erwin will come over and look over your shoulder as you read this, Celine or Victor, and say, I don't envy you at all. Be aware that if you don't show, he will get you there one way or another. He controls the mists, he controls the creatures, the land. He says, he's evil, yes. Torturous, murderous. But there is one thing about Strahd that you can count on, and it's just that he will be what you would call a perfect gentleman. He is noble, and he is raised in the noble ways. He expects respect, but he will give it in return, assuming you earn it or deserve it. He's not one to just lash out and kill for the chaotic nature of it. There's always a rhyme, there's always reason to what he does.
So it is possible to actually go there without weapons, expecting a fight, basically. Like he will let us leave.
Well, I can't really answer that. I'm not him, but if he invited you to dinner, then you can be guaranteed dinner is what you will have, and he will be lawful in his actings, but
Well,
he is the
he
devil
may
after
not
all.
do anything to us, but one of his underlings may.
So when that part of the conversation happens, Mud pushes himself up. Where did Izzy take Irina? And he'll start working his way back outside.
And why was Strahd? Why did Strahd not take her? He spoke to her, did something with her, and he did not take her.
Robin, he says, I did not see what he said, but I believe he was intending to come back for her, that he was kept her here to stay safe. I don't think he was expecting that brute of a man to do what he did, or why he even had interest in her to begin with.
Well, he's a weird dude. He's got a bunch of dolls that look just like her.
Which is why we can't leave her with him. And Mud will go out and try to, because he's seen where Izzy grabbed her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mud will start looking around, trying to find some tracks.
Yeah, it's quite obvious where the tracks are because he's quite a large guy, and you can see Irina's drag marks, is behind him, or not really like physically dragged, but he's dragging her in quick step anyway. But you could follow them, but it leads right out to the main gates, and it looks like it heads outside the town limits, like he's dragging her out in the way.
Okay, but he didn't take her to the creepy doll room.
No.
Okay.
None of us want to go back there.
Is the carriage marks, are they going in the same direction that he took her?
There are some reminders
or
for Chrissy
in
and
a different
Kevin.
direction?
They would be headed out of the town in the same direction that Izzy went. Yes, you guys, unless you guys want to actually follow the tracks out, you can really see that they're both headed in that direction. But where exactly, you're not sure.
I think he's got some creepy hidey hole out in the woods somewhere. Where was it that his sister died? Do you happen to know?
Erwin, well, sure. I don't know exactly where, no, but it was on the north side of the village in the woods up near the lake.
Now,
That is where they always hunted for the wolves.
Did he take him off in the northward direction?
The gates would be on the eastern side, but the road then turns north. So, depending on if you follow the tracks that far, but presumably, yes.
Is there anyone in town that would know exactly where?
He nods. Yes, there's a few. Let me find the exact names, and I will tell you who.
I don't think that we need to be wasting time on talking to people. Between me and Mud, I think we can follow their trail. I think what we need to do is get some healing potions and go after them. But that's just my opinion.
This is Soldar and Yevgeny, the two wolf hunters here in town. They would probably know more about the woods than I do. I avoid the place. There's a great lake, the Lake Zarovich, up above the city or town, a few miles. They often fish there. He'll go over to Ismark. Most of the other people in here are dead, so we'll do like a prayer motion of the Morning Lord. Mud, you might kind of, it's a little different from what you know it as, but you can still kind of recognize what it is he's doing. Over each of the dead, and as he gets over to Ismark, he'll prop the kid up and sort of try to shake him awake. And he's going to be out for quite a while. He took a nasty bite from the wolf when it came through the window.
Well, we're planning on heading out after his sister Irina. Could you spare perhaps some more healing for the rest of us?
Since I have a bit left, just give me a moment. I got a few drinks that might help as well. And he'll lay Ismark down across one of the tables and cover him up before he heads into the kitchen. Come back out a few moments later. He's got 2 healing potions, which will heal your healing rate that he can hand off. And he has a potion of regeneration. If somebody wants that does your healing rate for 3 rounds.
Oh.
And then he has a couple spells if anybody looks really rough that might need it.
I mean, Mud is still looking a little rough.
Okay, so he'll come over. He can do double your healing rate, and then he can just do half your healing rate twice. So
okay, well, if he does double my healing rate, you know what? If he does half mine twice, and then if he could do the double the healing rate to somebody else, because I know Victor's pretty beat up too, isn't he?
He's okay, but he could use more healing. I will say, like, if he got doubled his healing rate, he would be peachy, like,
Well, then
perfectly fine, other than bleeding from the face.
Have him do that to Victor.
That'll wipe him then. So do double your healing rate, Victor. I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, Vasily. No, I don't think either one of them got hit really.
Well, yeah, I got hit by the vampire, and I still haven't completely healed up from the place, but I'm still fine. I have 13 left. So I'm good.
Yeah, Mornak never got
So
hit.
how about you carry? You carry one of the healing potions, and then the one that heals for 3 rounds. I think probably either Mud or me should take that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Since we're like more melee focused.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to say Victor because Mud does not want to be melee focused. he just seems to have some very bad luck.
Extremely bad luck. Well, I mean, like in Victor's mind, you're a melee combatant because of how much you've been in melee. Like, he just sees it that way. He doesn't consider you to be a caster. Like, it doesn't even cross his mind.
Did you not see the ice and lightning everywhere?
I mean, he did, but you did it in melee. So, like, to him, you're a melee fighter. Like, you just throw spells in melee. That's
Either
just
way,
the way he sees it.
Either way, Mud's going to push the potion of regeneration towards Victor.
All right, so
Okay.
take that, Victor. That does 3 rounds. At the beginning of your turn, for 3 rounds, you heal your healing rate. He will do the double one on you, Victor. So double for right now. Do double your healing rate. That'll heal you back up.
Okay.
And then Mud, you're going to take 2 heals of half your healing rate. And then you still have 2 regular healing potions, which heal your healing rate. That whoever wants those.
Well, Mornak and I can each have one of those. I'll just pocket mine for now.
Let's see. He had something else. Let me look.
I have a prediction, Vasily, that you're going to probably use one of those healing potions on Mud. Just saying.
Well, hey, at least we can bring someone back from near death.
No, I think Mud is at the point now where he's going to be using one of the other folks as a shield. Literally.
So what was this chest made out of?
Just wood with bronze clasps going over it.
Is there any way that I could start prying the wood up? Because I don't want to smash it open. Because if there's more of those potions inside. I just want to see if I can pry open the wood panels on it.
If you worked at it for quite a while or tried to pry it open, eventually it would give away.
So, Dre, you wouldn't happen to know how to pick locks, do you?
Actually, he can. I don't have a sheet, but I know he has a +8. Actually, yeah, he'd be able to pick that. So yeah, if
have a go at it.
he'll take it and sit down for a little bit and start working at it. When he finally gets it open, you're going to see inside. You would normally have you draw a card, but I will draw it randomly.
Well, okay, while you're doing that, I think Victor would be over Dre's shoulder, like, critiquing him. Like, no, you're doing that wrong. No, you need to do this, and just be annoying the shit out of him.
All right, you got the Horseman. So inside, you're going to see inside the sort of like a velvet sleeve is a card, and inside that card is one of the Taraka cards, just like you guys already have, but it's of the Horseman, this skeletal plague-infested figure atop an undead horse that is wrapped in fog.
Well, that's a disappointment. I'm going to pull up the fabric and everything inside, see if there's anything hidden inside. Anything else?
There is not. You don't see anything else within.
Well, who?
Is it is it gold leaf like our original ones were, or is it?
Yep. Looks exactly like your guys's.
And ours look different from all the other ones we've seen, right?
Yes. It seems like it comes from the same deck. It has the same design, same style of artwork.
Well, that's super disappointing. I was at least, a magic weapon, like a great sword or, something, but just, I don't know. So do we know what this means? Or have any clue?
Vastly, didn't you study the cards?
No, I only use them as a mere focus for my spell. I don't actually know how to read them. It was that awful old woman at the camp that was able to read them.
Or
I know a little about tarot cards, but
I guess my big question would
maybe try.
My big question would be: is this a normal card in the deck?
Oh, I'll pull out my deck and I'll start thumbing through it, see if there's one similar to it.
oh, then yeah, you'll find a Horseman in there eventually. Yep.
Yes, it's one that's in the deck.
All right. Well, priorities. I guess we should try to trail Irina and Isaac.
No, I think there's something about her that's Strahd likes. I don't know what or what he sees in her, what his fascination is. But then again, I didn't know Isaac had one as well.
Well, yeah, that's the weird part. He has a bunch of dolls that look just like her at different ages, and they're not new. Like, he just had them built since she's been in town. They've been sitting up in his shelves for years, covered in dust, and he has a life-size one that was just built not too long ago.
Warnak's going to go pull out his pack and pull out the dolls that he took. Look,
Yes, this
is weird.
Erwin will take one and look at it and sees that little sign on the back, the "is no fun, is no Blinsky." The toy maker in town made these. Blinsky's toys were. It's down the street, around the corner. That's weird.
Did he survive? Do you happen to know?
I do not know. I haven't gone to that farm. Maybe, perhaps, but it's worth looking into. This is his craftsmanship, yes. All the dolls, whatever dolls you have, Mornick will all have it. And you guys seen that all the ones that you looked at too had the same little stitch in your tag that said that is no Blinsky, is no fun. So it seems like Ezek has been having Blinsky make these up for him. It's quite disturbing. This is, well, you're welcome to stay here tonight if you need to, or decide what you wish to do. I'm going to take care of this lad and take him upstairs, make sure he can wakes in the morning.
I think we need to go right after Irina. And if Ismark wakes up, don't tell him anything yet.
Agreed.
Says, you know, he's going to ask right away, but I will do what I can. And yeah, he will pick up Ismark and start taking him upstairs. You can see his wife comes out on the landing above and then hurries back. She's just covered in, looks like she's been helping people, but she's covered in blood and stained and has rags, and healing rags and bandages and stuff.
I thought I'd let you know. I guess it's of no consequence, but it was the coffin maker that was in on it.
Because didn't expect much of him besides being a town drunk.
He had a bag full of 30 pieces of Strahd silver.
And I guess
gonna point at him and go, and I'm the town drunk.
now you are the new one. Yes, for sure.
The town of 5.
And I guess anybody can come under the devil's worship if he has enough to pay for him.
But he
It's too
killed
bad.
himself.
Guilt is a strong enemy. I'll see what I can find out about the matter in the morning. I will see if I can find Blinsky as well. Let him know that. Ask him a few questions. But good luck, my friends. If you need anything more, then please don't hesitate to ask. I don't have much more to offer right now, but
Horses? Other horses?
Yeah, he does have a stable. He only has a stable of 3 horses out back.
I'm
Which,
small, I can ride on the back.
Well, you would have saw him too back out there where all the ravens sleep and stuff. But yeah, there was 3 horses out there that he could lend you. Yep.
Oh, there's 5 of us. Can we continue borrowing your ring for a bit more?
Yes, I gave it to you to use as needed, so until you're done with it, please take time. With that, he will turn and take Ismark, the lesser, upstairs. You can hear the door thud upstairs as he puts the lad away.
Gather the 3 horses. I'll meet you back here. And I'll actually go check the coffin maker's shop to see if he had like a small stable or a horse or anything.
No, he does not. Only other person you'd know that does have anything would be the burgomaster.
Well, if he's locked up in his place and Izek is gone, it doesn't really matter. We can just take his horses.
Yeah, a little over, so I think that'll be a good time to save it for tonight. Let you guys ponder and pick it up next session with you guys getting ready to head out and decide what to do. So thank you, everybody, and